TV. Your Orangeville A's are taking on the Windsor Express for the 8th time this season. This time we are here at Athlete Institute. Kelsey Wright-Johnson and Ryan Greco, bringing you tonight's game.
It's okay, Kelsey. I still love you. How's it going?
It is wonderful. This matchup, Ryan, we've seen 8 times this season. The Windsor Express have lost 3 times, won 4 times. That means if Orangeville is able to win this one, they can make it 500 against this Windsor team.
Yes, they could, and that would be an excellent stat for them to carry going into the playoffs, considering that Windsor has all but almost locked up the second position in the Central Division right now, Kelsey. So if this team can walk away and say, hey, if we can go toe-to-toe with some of the best in this division, who's to say how far we can't go?
I think there is one thing. There's a couple things on both teams that we got to talk about. Let's start with Windsor right now. The big news for Windsor right now, Ryan, just a few days ago, they acquired Logan Stutz, the reigning MVP of this NBL Canada League.
And it's going to be a very interesting game today to find out which Logan Stutz is going to appear. Get this, Kelsey. He hasn't scored more than double digits since March 25th, so that's 4 games. In those 4 games, he's been 6 of 20 from the field. And so usually that's Logan Stutz. We're used to seeing him take 20 shots a game. So for him to have as quiet of an outing as he did with the Niagara River Lions before he moved on to Windsor, it's going to be very interesting to see how he's going to mesh in with this team. This is his first official game with this team. He's had some chance to practice with them, obviously. So it's, once again, which Logan Stutz is going to show up tonight. And if it's the Logan Stutz that you and I know, and for that matter, love, the former MVP of last season, where the Orangeville A's are going to be in tough tonight.
Keeping in mind, he's been with the Niagara River Lions since 2015, where he averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds per game, Ryan. I mean, he's one of those guys that can make a huge difference out there, and it's weird seeing him in red, actually, tonight.
It kind of is, and he's even got the shades to match today. So he's got the red shades. If anyone who watched him when he was playing for the River Lions, he kind of had the greenish, bluish tint going on as well at some points in certain games. So once again, as you said, it's just one of those guys you're used to seeing in one specific jersey.
On the other end, Ryan, we got to talk quickly about the Orangeville A's. There is some big news on that end as well. Justin Moss is back, playing limited minutes today, but I mean, he is back for the Orangeville A's. And I mean, as someone who is, I think, the 3rd or 4th leading scorer in this league right now, depending on kind of the day, he goes back and forth. What a huge, huge addition it is going to be to this home team.
Oh, not just that, though. When you also add in the fact that it does, I don't know for certain if he's not here or not, but when you have someone like DeAndre Thomas, who had been such a problem for the Orangeville A's the last couple of games, and boxing out and creating that space and really protecting the paint for the Windsor Express and those tough losses that Orangeville ended up having a guy like Justin Moss back on the floor, along with Stefan Nastic playing some of the best basketball of his career right now. This creates a team that is extremely potent on the offensive boards. And considering the fact that this is a team that also has a number of players that can let it fly, like Jamison Tipping, Alex Johnson, Rick Bodiford, a number of these guys can sling it from deep. When you have big guys in the middle ready to get those rebounds like Justin Moss and Stefan Nastic together, it's only going to create problems for the Windsor Express.
Looking at the roster of Orangeville right now, again, Justin Moss didn't play the last time these two teams matched up when Windsor took it 111-110. Just while I'm on that, these two teams, again, 8 times they played each other. 3 of those times, 1-point games.
It's incredible. For the last 5 of the 7 games this season, it seems like there's always been something that's been coming down to the wire. I mean, the biggest margin of victory, Kelsey, I think was maybe 12 points, and every other game has been, I think, a single-digit game for that matter. So really, once again, the one thing that's going to be guaranteed is it's going to be a close game no matter who's on the floor between these two.
The only thing to think about, though, Ryan, in those 3 games that were 1-point games, Orangeville came out on the bottom every single one of those games. So, I mean, when you look at the roster of Windsor right now, I mean, they have Warren Ward, who sunk that buzzer beater. They got a couple guys who are very, very clutch. Let's look at Orangeville quickly, though, for a second. With Justin Moss, again, he didn't play last game, so the ball's going to be distributed a little bit differently this game. But, I mean, Stefan Nastic had 31.7 rebounds, and then there was a whole bunch of guys with 15 or 14, including Corbin Thomas, who had 15 points, 11 rebounds. Rick Bodiford had 15. And then 14 points came from Larry Anderson, who's no longer on the team, and Relier Hollis Jefferson, who had 14 as well. So, I mean, Orangeville has a bunch of guys on the team that are able to score, and adding Justin Moss, I'm hoping that can get a few more numbers on their score sheet tonight. or else it's going to take away some of the opportunities maybe for Corbin Thomas.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Sometimes when guys leave for as long as Justin Moss has, it creates opportunities for other players, and sometimes it creates a little bit of a chemistry flaw, if you will, a little bit. But when you have guys who are so good in the post at finding the vision, keep in mind the Orangeville A's are a team, they've been top 2 in the league in assists for pretty much the entirety of the season. They've got a lot of smart bigs. Between Nastich and Moss, neither one of these guys, they're never blind when they're looking around in the post and they have the ball. They will find their shooters, and if they have the open space, they've shown time and again just how impressive they are at finishing. Also, a guy like Daquan Cook, we can't forget about him, just how physical of a presence he is, especially on the defensive end. When you've got guys that have a little bit of the brain and the brawn, Kelsey, this is really going to work out well for the Orangeville A's if they play as well as we know they can. And we're not even mentioning Slim McGee either.
Cook only had 2 points in the last game that these two teams matched up. It was 111 to 110, but I mean, he's going against loads in the paint like Juan Patillo and DeAndre Thomas. I mean, is that going to be a big factor today? I mean, Moss is quite bigger than him.
Well, absolutely. When you add in the fact that Moss is there playing the limited minutes, as you said, a little bit of a more polished touch at the rim, also just a little bit better vision, but really not by much when you're looking at some of the plays that Daquan Cook has been able to put together at some point this season. But really, the biggest factor I think at this point now is going to be the efficiency of the Orangeville's passing through the paint, and also the defense on the perimeter showed up by the Windsor Express, as they are ranked as the best defensive team in the league.
Let's talk about Windsor quickly, Ryan. Again, in that last game that we keep talking about, the huge game goes to Warren Ward, ending with 33 points, including how many from beyond the arc, Ryan? 6. He went 50% from beyond the arc, hitting 6 3-pointers that game. And then there was a whole bunch of guys again. Juan Patillo had 15 points, 16 rebounds, so keeping him off the glass tonight is going to be a big deal. The other person, Nick Evans, he had 16 points, but I mean, he's gone from this team, and I think that's where Logan Stutz is going to step up.
Well, absolutely. And when you got Logan Stutz hitting in the inside paint now, a guy who's never been afraid to mix it up. He's been a big acquisition for this Windsor Express team, especially, like I said before, now also since they picked up Shaquille Keith, another guy who has shown time and again that he can mix it up in the paint if he needs to. He likes to kind of stay on the perimeter, but that size that he has, that some of these guys that have, especially for the Windsor Express on the perimeter, they're just a tough matchup for a lot of the shorter guards on Orangeville, and that's part of the reason why they've been able to shoot the ball so well against Orangeville in these matchups.
Well said, Ryan. We're going to get started now with the starting lineups, national anthem, and a performance by the Lady A's. We'll be right back.
See you soon.
I think lane, that ain't embarrassing. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Hold up, wiggy, 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 wiggy. The
coolest DJ in the world.
Now she going, know that going. I purchased Avian and now she lit, huh? Wedding band rings on me lit, huh? Married to the game on the huh? Whoa, 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 whoa. We made men. We ain't pulling up at cribs that we can't get. You can't pull up on Instagram, I ain't hit. And this shit telling lies about me cause she ain't. She wanted big, big dog status. I was in the alley with them nickel bags, tally. Now I'm Taliban gang status, that was sandy. And you can't get close cause you don't know me. It ain't no more dipping, dabbing, hanging low key. Deep see me and they panic. I can't believe it, I was on the corner gambling. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Hold up, wiggy, 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 wiggy. Way over, way over.
Every day on 3. 1, 2, 3. Every day.
Welcome back to A's TV. If you're just tuning in now, it's the Orangeville A's taking on the Windsor Express for the 8th time this season. Orangeville, if they're able to clinch this W, they're going to bring it to a 500 overall season between this team, starting for Windsor. Number 10, Warren Ward. Number 1, Juan Patillo. Number 12, Darren Duncan. Number 22, Jannard Giroux. And of course, number 30, the dual athlete in college, Wally Ellenson.
That's right, the high jump record holder, is it, Kelsey?
You got it. So expect to see some springs in his step today when he goes up for a couple jams. Starting for Orangeville is number 2, Rick Bodiford. Number 34, Corbin Thomas. Number 32, Stephen Nassing. And of course, the point guard himself, number 3, Anthony Harris. It is the Easter-themed game today, Ryan, on Good Friday here in Orangeville. All the fans now up on their feet until Orangeville is able to score the first bucket of the game.
Really hoping for a Good Friday here in Orangeville. The worst pun ever, Kelsey.
But seconds away from tip-off now. It goes between Giroux and Nastich. First possession goes to Windsor. Here's Duncan up top. Gets it over to Giroux. He drives on Nastich. 3 ball. That one's off the mark. Offensive rebound goes to Windsor.
Just the downside of those long shots there, Kelsey. Sometimes the rebounds come out like that.
Giroux off the mark. Bodiford picks up the first board for Orangeville.
That's it. Orangeville kind of getting away with one there. You can't allow a team like this to get those second chance opportunities on the offensive end.
Here's Harris to Hollis Jefferson. Jefferson drives right, goes up and under, No good. Able to clean it up, though.
Kids, if you're at home, you're watching that finish there, make sure you're keeping those hands high once the ball's rimming out just a little bit. You never know if you might find your own rebound.
Jannard Giroux to Thomas. Duncan now up top. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Duncan looking for Ward. He breaks through. Gets it to him. Ward got to put something up. Chucks it up. Nothing but air on that one. It goes out of bounds. Shot clock violation. Orangeville ball.
Excellent defense there by the Orangeville A's. Taught a little bit there as he tried to move through the screen. Was all the more his shot, as we both know how defensively sound Relier Hollis Jefferson can be.
Ryan, can we talk quickly about how sad the Orangeville A's bench is compared to the Windsor bench right now? They've got 3 guys.
Very similar to where they were down to 2 because of injuries.
Holy moly. They get a bucket on the other end by Nastich. Now Jannard Giroux hands it off to Ward. Ward drives middle, picks it up. I think that one was tipped there by Hollis Jefferson. It's Orangeville now coming back.
Hollis Jefferson, he's making a point defensively to start off this game.
Nastich over to Bodiford, finds himself wide open. Can't leave him open, Ryan. Nothing but net.
Something we talked about in the pregame there, Kelsey, the intelligence of these big men on the Orangeville A's staff. You can just see it right there. Stefan Nastich staying patient, gets his defender off his feet, finds Bodiford wide open for the 3.
Here's Juan Patillo. 10 seconds on the shot clock going against Thomas. Almost stolen there. They get it out to Wally Ellenson. Ellenson now, he's going to have to chuck something up. Puts up the floater down the middle. That one's off the mark. Gets his own offensive rebound. Blocked by Jefferson. Ryan, it's been every single possession. Windsor has gone down to the 3-2-1 of their shot clock.
And actually, in the last 3 possessions, it's been Relier Hollis Jefferson that's been the one that's either blocked it, tipped it, or forced up the air ball, too. Very impressive start to this game defensively for the A's leading scorer and one of the top scorers in the league.
Patillo hands it off to Duncan. Over to Ward. Ward puts it up, falls to the ground. It's no good. You can see the hops there on Ellenson. He just can't get over the rebound by Bodiford. Here's Ellenson now. Fast break. Gets it to Ward. Ward is blocked by Corbin Thomas. Gets the rebound, though. Here he is now pulling it out over to Duncan. Duncan spots up. Dribble forward, puts it up. It's no good. Hollis Jefferson is a rebounding machine so far in this game. Steph Nastich with the slam. Posterizes Wally Ellenson.
What a finish there at the rim. Orangeville getting off to just the kind of start that they were hoping for in front of the home crowd. Great finish by Nastich.
9-0 right now. Orangeville leads the way over Windsor. Just over 8.5 minutes left to go. The first bucket of the game for Windsor goes to Juan Patillo.
And that was a nice find by Duncan there.
Talk about nice finds. The pass there into Bird. He just cannot connect.
The GG on the fast break. He's been an ace killer all season, Kelsey. Well, pretty much for his whole career. So it'll be interesting. Jefferson made a point really to D him up in the beginning here. See if he can keep that up.
Harris doing his best impression of Warren Ward just as we're talking about him. Releases, it's no good. Thomas now with the long 2 off the mark. Ellenson swats it away and it gets into his teammates' hands. Here's Warren. Ward, 17 seconds on the shot clock. He puts up the mid-range, it's no good.
That's what you want, though. You want to force Ward to balance jumpers.
That one is off of Windsor. It's going to be Orangeville A's ball on the sideline. Baseline. 19 seconds, on the shot clock. 7 minutes, 51 seconds left to go in the first.
And we talk about the defense very quickly that's being played on Warren Ward, whether it's Corbin Thomas or Jefferson. Just an excellent effort there to make sure that he's not getting a clean look at the rim so far.
In the same way, Warren Ward playing real tight defense on Hollis Jefferson. So, I mean, they're going to be a battle to watch. And I think it's going to be a fun matchup this game.
Oh, absolutely. You're completely right about that, Kelsey. And you even see there the Windsor Express defense trying to make a bit of a statement there. That's 2 consecutive blocks for them on trips up and down the floor.
14 seconds on the shot clock. Harris brings it out for the home team, gets it to Nastich. Tries to find Harris down low, but a big steal by Duncan. Ellenson now finds Giroux, hands it off to Duncan. 16 seconds now on the shot clock. Duncan looks to turn the corner. Patillo, mid-range. That one's good.
Yeah, Duncan didn't like the roll he got there off the screen. Finds the man set up at the corner there just off the elbow. Great jump shot hit.
Harris now for Orangeville. Comes off the screen from Thomas. He tries to find the roll there. That one's stolen. Duncan out to Ward. Can't let Ward get open. A rare miss from the former Ottawa Gigi.
Yeah, that's something you don't normally see Warren Ward doing there, as he had that much time to set up. He's not going to be the type to be intimidated by a running defender, so a rare miss.
Maybe the running defender because he didn't see him. You know what I mean? Instead of
Could
just
be.
coming straight at him. Great defense
Absolutely.
there by Jannar Giroux. Patillo now puts up the floater down the middle. Orangeville's been scoreless in the last 2 minutes.
Yes, they have. To their benefit, they got to take advantage of these missed opportunities on the fast breaks by Windsor.
Relier Hollis Jefferson, he goes up. Giroux is going to be charged with the foul. He's calling for the jump ball, but Hollis Jefferson is going to go to the charity stripe for 2.
That was a very interesting call there by the referees. Did look like the Giroux was able to get his hand right on it, but maybe as Jefferson was going up there, maybe some contact on the shooting hand or to the head or anything like that may have been the reason why the referee called that foul there.
Jefferson, first one is good, brings the team to 10. 6 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the first.
And that's what we're talking about, Kelsey. Orangeville, they need to take advantage of every single call that they get going their way. And Relier Hollis Jefferson doing just that, getting Orangeville back on the scoring board.
Here's Duncan now up top for the Express. Pulls back, doesn't have the shot though, gets it to Ellenson. He goes all the way off the glass. It rolls around, but it's no good. Offensive or defensive rebound, goes to Harris. It's a steal now by Windsor. If he knocks it down, it'll be 3. It's no good.
Ellenson, just not his day offensively so far. A couple of missed opportunities there. See if the teammates keep trying to find him.
6 minutes now left to go. Harris comes off the screen from Nastich. Rejects it, gets it back to the big man. He releases from the 3 and it rolls around it, but it does not go in. Here's Ward now on the other end. There's a blocking foul called there on Relier Hollis Jefferson. Ward, though, not going to go to the line, not a shooting foul, but it is going to be Windsor ball on the sideline as Logan Stutz checks into the game for Jannar Giroux.
And Stutz now jumping into this game is going to be very interesting. We really haven't had a chance to see him match up against Stefan Nastich, so we'll see what the result of that matchup is going to be for a few minutes. Meanwhile, Relier Hollis Jefferson, unfortunately, just not getting his feet set in time there, Kelsey, and ends up getting called with the blocking.
Only his first of the game, just under 6 minutes left to go. It is 11-6. The Orangeville A's leading the way over the Windsor Express. Welcome back to A's TV. Windsor ball on the sideline. Just under 6 minutes left to go in the first. 19 seconds left to go in the shot clock. Over to Stutz. Stutz could be his first basket as a Windsor Express, and it's going to be an and one, Ryan. He gets it to go on the left-hand side. He's going to go to the charity stripe for one more.
And Stefan Nastich almost kind of being taken to school there for a second, just tries to defend this shot. Logan Stutz, though, has shown time and again he has that capability, putting the ball on the floor, establishing that right away, that drive to the basket. I'm sure his coach is happy to see that one. Work inside, then out.
Nastich and Stutz, like you mentioned earlier, Ryan, haven't played up against each other now, so I wonder if Nastich, he's going to have to kind of understand who he's playing against.
Absolutely, you're right about that, as Ellenson finishes there, or actually gets a nice find and a finish under the basket.
Tie game now, 5.5 minutes left to go in the third. 11-11. Orangeville has lost their 9-0 lead. Here's Hollis Jefferson over to Bodiford. Bodiford drives middle, puts it up. That one goes, and the foul is going to go to Stutz.
That's a great finish there by Rick Bodiford, true leader of a team in that sense. Whenever they needed a big bucket from him, he's been there.
It's things like that that you like to see. I don't know if you got to see that on your screen. He sprinted from the foul line, Ryan, over to talk to his coach before he had to take this foul shot. And that is what a leader does. That's definition right there. Wants to talk to the coach, but no, he has to get that shot off. So he sprints over, has a quick word, goes for the shot, and this one could be worth 3. Can't get it to fall. Nastich with the offensive rebound, though, puts up the jumper. No good. Almost another offensive rebound now. Here's Wally Ellenson. Jumps. Does not land softly. That's going to be Hollis Jefferson's second foul.
There it is. Unfortunately, a necessary foul there to make sure that Ellenson wasn't going to get a highlight dunk. It's funny. I think he heard us talking about those jumps, those high jumps that he was setting in Marquette. But Relir Hollis Jefferson, he's right there to meet him at the rim, denies him, and now Ellenson's going to have to earn 2 at the line. As Stefan Nastich takes the seat, I like this for a second here. Give him a chance to catch his breath. I'm sure he wasn't too happy of the way that he allowed Stutz to get to the rim in that previous possession. I think that's the only reason why you could try and justify why he was trying to go for that kind of weird floating jump shot he took. Maybe trying to set a precedence and say, hey, I can score too. Don't worry, Nastich, we know you can.
Ellenson sinks it from the line, back to a tie game, 13-13. Here's Corbin Thomas. Over to Johnson, Superman, Alex Superman Johnson, 13 seconds on the shot clock. He finds the open lane on the left-hand side, and it's good over Logan Stutz.
That was a very surprising effort on defense there by Jones, who was guarding him. That's not something we're used to seeing him, as he kind of just let Johnson go right by him and finish at the rim.
Maurice Jones now up top, over to Ellenson. Ellenson rejects the screen from Stutz. Stutz now up top, back over to Jones. He finds that same open lane, gets it to Stutz, give him the assist, gives Stutz another basket, ties it back up, 15-15.
Just going to say, Kelsey, the very scary part there, you can't let either one of these point guards turn the corner like that, or else they're going to find their open man every time.
Thomas, mid-range, no good, big rebound by Ward.
Not a fan of that shot, Kelsey. Too early in the shot clock and not a good place to hit it from.
Ellenson releases from 3. It's going to be the battle of the shooters between Ellenson and Tipping tonight.
Definitely looks like it there, and Ellenson caught that one in rhythm. He's already had a chance to get a few shots up, so no real surprise that he was able to knock that one down with a hand in his face.
Almost a steal there by Warren Ward. It's knocked out of bounds, though. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline. Just under 4 minutes left to go. We're still yet to see Justin Moss.
Really, we haven't seen him yet. It'll be interesting to see just how many minutes he's going to get, especially in this first half.
Hollis Jefferson, it'll be a long 2, and it's good.
That was looking a lot like the Kobe Bryant turnaround fadeaway there. Great extension, way to set himself up, square himself up to the basket in midair. Excellent finish.
Here's Ellenson once again. Looks to turn the corner, dishes it out to Jones. Jones comes off the screen from Stutz, gets it back to the big man. He spots up from the 3. It's off the mark. Here's Johnson, hands it off to Cook. Cook looking to get Logan Stutz in a little more foul trouble. That one is going to give him his second of the game, and it's going to be Cook, that goes to the line for 2.
We talk again about Cook's size, his ability to attack the basket, roll to the rim like that, and in comes Justin Moss, Kelsey.
Justin Moss signing into the game for the first time this calendar year. So it's nice to see him back on the floor. If you're an Orangeville Ace fan, you remember him from last year. He was 4th in the league in scoring with 19.3 points a game and 3rd in the league in rebounding with 8.8 rebounds a game. And now we've got him back after a long injury took him out of the season.
There he is, and also to a little bit of fanfare here. You could hear the crowd reacting when they heard Justin Moss's name getting called.
I'd say Justin Moss and Rick Bodiford are definitely fan favorites here.
Oh, absolutely. Once again, first 2 guys that were here for training camp all the way back in November.
Cook, he's going to be charged with a foul, and it's going to be Logan Stutz who gets his 2nd and 1 of the game, Ryan. He's only been in for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's Logan Stutz for you, though. Pat did finishes taking contact, finishing at the rim. This is a guy that has shown he understands who he goes up against. That's really, I think, the best way you can describe how good Logan Stutz is at what he does. He knows what certain tendencies of certain players are. He pays attention to the people guarding him and the people that he guards, and he takes full advantage of anything that he sees that he can use. And when you can finish with contact in the paint like he can, it only makes you more deadly.
Botifer turns the corner, gets it over to Cook. Cook goes up, and it's good. What a finish.
Very much so, with the left hand, too, no doubt, over 2 defenders.
Tony Bennett puts it up for 3.
That's not a shot you want to see Orangeville giving up to a certain extent. Those transition threes, we've seen how deadly that can be for Windsor.
Rick Botiford, great ball handling skills, able to get out of the double team there. Cook chucks it up, it's no good. Patillo with the rebound.
I'm not mad at that shot there. You got a chance to fake the pass, you had wide open look. We've seen Cook hit those before.
Jones over to Patillo. The mid-range is good over Moss.
There it is. Don't look now, but the Windsor Express offense is cooking, Kelsey. Finding all the right spots on the floor. Players getting to their hot zones, if you will. Getting open shots up.
Here's Johnson now. Up top, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it over to Tipping. Tipping into Moss. Moss goes up. That one's no good. It's going to be out of bounds on Windsor. Orangeville ball. I think Windsor right now is saying, I think that was a foul, but it's his own guy that tripped him.
Yeah, not only that, though, they're also claiming that they were still in bounds when the ball touched Cook, and he was already stepping out of bounds. But the referees are actually talking about it right now, Kelsey, so we might have a reversal here.
Exactly, 2 minutes left to go in the first. Windsor has gotten the biggest lead so far this game that they've had, 26-21, and on top of that, it's going to be their ball on the baseline as Cook and Bennett give each other a high five at half court saying, hey, you know nothing was intentional here, right?
No, of course not. Once again, these are 2 teams that play each other incredibly tough, but they're professionals really more than anything. We've seen that through this entire year, Kelsey.
Jones drives, gets it to Patillo. Patillo. A nice little hop step there, but it's the steps once he landed that's going to get him called with the traveling violation.
Yeah, it looked like he took a little bit of contact in the leg there. You could see him wincing a little bit in pain, Kelsey, and then tried to hop himself out of it, but of course you can't do that.
At least not in this sport. And they're looking inside now to Moss.
There you go.
Moss, using that big body of his, just can't finish underneath.
That's something you can't replace game speed competition, Kelsey. He's just going to have to need a few more touches.
Jones goes up, it's just short. Here's Botiford now on the fast break. Kicks it into second gear, but his feet didn't get the memo. It's off his foot, and a big dunk by Juan Patillo.
What a find there by Bennett. I didn't honestly think he was going to be able to get it up over the defender, but a perfect lob, literally a perfect lob, and a great finish at the rim.
Tipping, it's stolen by Shaq Keith. Shaq Keith now, he goes up this one. Not as flashy, but worth the same. Shaq Keith now adds 2 points. Under a minute left to go now in the game. 53.5 seconds, Ryan. It is 30-21. The Windsor Express just keep adding to that lead.
Yes, they do. And really, we just between it just seems like right now the Windsor Express, as I was kind of alluding earlier to, they're finding their hot zones. They're finding their places on the floor. The ball's moving around very well for the Windsor Express at this time. Guys finishing, pretty much hitting open jumpers really more than anything. Whereas the Orangeville A's seem to be getting stifled on the perimeter, something that was one of the keys to victory here for the Windsor Express. They know just how good of a shooting team Orangeville can be. They know just how deadly their offense can be when the ball starts moving around efficiently. And that's something that the Orangeville A's for the second half of this first quarter have not been able to effectively do. There's been a lot of contested shots, a lot of contact under the rim, and guys are just kind of out of rhythm right now, it looks like, more than anything.
And Ryan, I think one of the biggest things, other than stopping Juan Patillo, who's got 10 points right now, Orangeville has 0 steals. On the other side, Windsor, they're sitting at 7 steals just in this first quarter.
And that's it. Shaq Keith was a perfect example of that right there. Guys just not necessarily taking care of the ball. As Tipping made that swing over, you got to remember just how good of a defender Shaq Keith can be as an example there. Takes the ball right out of his hands, and sometimes that can also just be a little bit of lack of focus, if anything, Kelsey. Guys are so worried about their own plays being set up that they're forgetting, hey, a guy's actually guarding me right now. I got to protect that basketball and keep it high.
It is Orangeville ball on the baseline. Like I said, less than a minute left to go in this first quarter. Alex Superman Johnson going to bring it up for this home team. He hands it off to Moss. Moss gets it out to Tipping. He releases from the corner, just long. Tipping tries to save it. I thought that one was going to go in, but it's long, and he steps out of bounds, so it is going to be Windsor ball on the sideline.
Unfortunate turn of events there for the A's. Once again, Tipping finding his space, but the defender is right there. Just felt like a rush shot more than anything.
Here's Jones now, up to Stutz. Gets it over to Keith. Keith pulls it back now. Here's two Canadian kids going at it. He skips it over. Rick Bodiford gets his hand on it, but just not enough. And Tony Bennett puts in his second three of the game.
Well, gotta be good to be lucky.
Johnson, he goes.
One though there, a great find by Alex Johnson, walking through the forest, if you will.
7 seconds now. Jones out to Keith. Keith stumbling a little bit, loses his balance. It looked like he might have stepped on something or rolled his ankle just a tad bit in those old school Jordans. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline, 3.2 seconds. Here's Moss. Puts it up. Oh, it looked good. He was kind of in the air, looked at Bodiford, and then realized, I got to take this myself. Put it up, and it was just centimeters off, Ryan. At the end of this first, it is 32-23 Windsor leading over Orangeville, even though Orangeville started so great on offense.
They did, absolutely. But one thing that we're looking at more than anything throughout that first quarter, especially in the final of 4 or 5 minutes or so, even though getting second chance opportunities, and as we alluded to in the previous timeout, they're finding their open man. When they're working off a screen and roll, they're not trying to thread the needle and force a tough pass, with the exception of that last one, of course. But that's, you know, sometimes when you're feeling it like that, good things end up happening for you. The Orangeville A's just got to have to kind of get back to that free and easy style of offense that they were playing in the beginning. And also more than anything, though, just make sure they're staying physical in the paint. Knocking Windsor off balance is what they've been doing best. So we'll be seeing if we're going to see more Stefan Nastich and possibly a Moss-Nastich combo down in the paint. We could, because that's something that this team could sorely use right now in defending those passes that are finding the open man.
I think the thing right now, Ryan, for anyone who's watching at home, is surprised looking at these stats, knowing that Orangeville is the second leading assist-giving team in this league. They're being doubled right now by Windsor, 12-6 in assists.
And that's it, really, more than anything, is that this one thing about Orangeville, though, is that they do an incredibly good job of not abandoning their game plan. These are guys that do believe in their offensive sets. Otherwise, they wouldn't be top 2 in assists for the entire season. This is a team, Coach Lazowski, he has a specific mentality set up for this team's offense. And of course, on top of that, this team can be so stubborn on defense sometimes that it creates easy assists on the fast break. And that's something that Orangeville also does incredibly well. They got a lot of great athletes here. They don't call it the Athlete Institute for nothing.
Starting off this second quarter, it's going to be Windsor ball. Again, they lead the way 32-23. They're keeping that lineup on that we saw earlier. Orangeville changing it up a little bit, bringing in Anthony Harris and Daquan. Here's Jones, finds Stutz down low. Stutz, so smart, so patient, waits for his defender to get there, gets his balance, puts it up, and brings his team to 34.
I don't know many players that would actually wait for their defender in that situation, but Logan Stutz isn't every player.
Cook blocked by Giroux. Here's Jones now. Finds Stutz again. Stutz, he's got 12 points now on the night.
And there it is. Logan Stutz just finding where he needs to be. And I think we know which Logan Stutz has shown up to this game, Kelsey.
The former MVP one? Is that the one?
Yeah. By the looks of it.
Here's Justin Moss. Moss puts up the mid-range, his first bucket.
That's a great shot by Justin Moss, and that's a huge one for his confidence there. He'd been missing every shot up until that point. So a great find, because he's got his hands full right now. No rest for the wicked, Kelsey.
Here's Jones. This one will be worth 3 if it goes. It's off the mark. Moss pulls down the board.
And the reason I even just said that very briefly is because he goes from being out for the entire calendar year to having to guard the former MVP in a matter of a few minutes.
That one's out of bounds. It's going to go Windsor ball on the baseline. 10:45 left to go in the first half. Jones walking it up for this visiting team. They've taken an 11-point lead with 10.5 minutes left to go in the first half, Ryan, after being down 9 points to start off the game. Here's Keith now up top, comes off the screen from Giroux. Looks to turn the corner, kicks it out. Bennett, can he do it again? That one's no good, but he does get the foul, so he's gonna go to the line now for 3 shots.
Say something about Shaq Keith there. Shaq, and a lot of other players would have lost that dribble there when he dribbled between the legs and got kind of caught up with those two, with the 2 white jerseys, but his width, his strength, his ability to kind of almost power pass guys and then find that open man there, that's just something that you don't normally see, especially at this level of the game. And then just to, once again, when good things are happening, Kelsey, finding out Bennett. And Bennett, of course he would get fouled on it for 3 shots at the line. It's just been that kind of game so far in the first half for the Windsor Express.
You're right, Ryan, and he sinks all 3, bringing his team now to 39. Orangeville coming back the other way. It's Moss up top. Hands it off to Harris. Harris looking to turn the corner. Comes off a double screen. Loses it a bit. Gets it into Cook. Cook goes up. No good. Moss almost jumps too high on that one to grab the board. Stutz comes out with it. There's a steal by Tipping. Tipping pulls up for the transition 3. He knows that one's off. Could have been an easy putback there for Daquan Cook. Just not ready for that board.
Could have been, but I think at this point, Orangeville really needs to try and reset their offense instead of trying to rush the buckets here.
Bennett puts up another one. That one's no good. There's a foul there on Anthony Harris against Stutz. It's going to be Windsor ball on the baseline. Couple substitutions in for both teams for the Windsor Express. Warren Ward checks back into the game, and for the first time, we're seeing Slim McGee with the high messy bun today. We always talk about his hairstyle, always changing up game to game. This one might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to this one. We'll see what he can bring to the table here because they need him.
Warren Ward, the quick release, pulls the trigger. That one's worth 2.
Once again, finding those hot zones, Kelsey.
Here's Tipping, comes off 2 screens. Kicks it over to Johnson. Into Moss now, 11 seconds on the shot clock. Moss goes against Shaq Keith. Out to Alex Johnson for 3.
That's what we're talking about, that patient offense. Great defense, too. Excuse me.
Harris gets the steal there. Alex Johnson now in the fast break. Kicks it out to Harris. He releases from beyond the arc. That one just off the mark. Jones picks up the rebound. Just over 9 minutes now left to go in the first half. Jones turns the corner, kicks it out. The extra skip pass to Ward, gets it over to Shaq Keith. This one looks like it's good, and it's nothing but net.
Knocked it down once again. Windsor moving the ball extremely to get themselves reset as Moss nearly loses it.
Moss not the point guard on this team. Here's McGee now, hands it off to Tipping. Tipping tries to get it into McGee. Giroux grabs that one. It's going to be Johnson who's charged with the foul. 2 more substitutions now in for Orangeville. Corbin Thomas and Relier Hollis Jefferson make their way back into the game for Tipping. And Moss. 8 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the second. 44-28. The Windsor Express continue their dominance on offense.
They have. They've outscored Orangeville 9-5 so far in this. Right now, it's just been a matter of just willing the basketball in here, whereas Windsor just looks calm and collected offensively.
Shaq Keith, a nice move. There is going to be a foul called there on Corbin Thomas. He's nodding his head saying, yeah, I got him. That was me.
It was, absolutely. But once again, that's just kind of a microcosm of what we're watching overall. When you've got a guy who's able to work on that isolation on the baseline and put up a kind of move like that in the first place, you can tell the team is feeling itself offensively right now. And specifically Shaq Keith there doing everything he needs to do to get himself to the line, something that he's very good at, something he's been very good at. A former actual invite to the Raptors 905 at the beginning of this year as well. So
yeah, also back in 2015, he played for the Raptors 905. Earlier this year, he was with Cape Breton Highlanders. He averaged over 15 points per game before being traded, back to the Windsor Express.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him earlier this season. He was just extremely happy to be back in Windsor, but also really valued his time with Cape Breton. Got a chance to really see what it's like to be a leader on a team and be a main offensive threat. And he's taken those lessons, and he's ready to go for the playoffs.
Slim McGee goes up off the glass. It's good for 2 points.
And that's what the Orangeville A's need. They need some of that will right now, and Slim McGee is here to provide it. Excellent finish there after the contact.
Bennett looks to turn the corner. That one's going to go to Harris.
That's a tough foul there for Harris. All Harris is really trying to do is just get by that screen. Didn't look like Giroux had completely set his feet on that one, but The referee's still going to call the foul on Harris for hacking Bennett.
Shaq Keith hands off to Jones up top. 12 seconds on the shot clock. They get it into Bennett in the corner. He drives, the spin move. No good, but who's there to clean it up with the jam? Jannard Giroux.
Slim McGee cannot afford to go up and start block hunting with this polished in the paint. Gave up his position. An easy dunk for.
Here's McGee now looking to do it back to back. He goes up off the glass. It's just rims out, but it goes out of bounds on Giroux. Slim feeling it right now. It'll be Orangeville ball on the baseline with a new shot clock.
You see McGee's a little bit frustrated there. You can imagine he's also feeling a little frustrated about that previous defensive set, but you got to have a short memory. Let's see if he can get it back right now.
Relier Hollis Jefferson in the corner, comes off the screen from McGee. There's going to be a foul there on Warren Ward. Orangeville ball on the sideline.
Yeah, you can see Ward kind of reached around McGee's elbow and tried to move him out of the way. You can't technically do that. Sometimes you can if the ref doesn't see it, but not this time.
McGee down the middle off the glass. He's feeling it now.
That's it, Slim McGee, great job. Hey, keep feeding the hot hand. If you're seeing that he's finding ways to get to the basket and finishing, don't stop now.
Jones up to Keith. Keith sizing up Thomas, goes up, and there's going to be a foul called on Alex Johnson on the drive.
Unfortunately, Shaq Keith is just that kind of a mismatch for guys because he has the shot if he needs it, and he's just deceptively quick, Kelsey. He's so good at being able to kind of move his defender out of proper position, and then as soon as he sees that, it's like a shark smelling blood. He'll attack right to the basket every single time, and he still has a nice little spin move to top it all off if he does find some contact at the rim. I mean, he's just a very tough matchup. It really almost takes a guy who almost has the exact same skill set as him to be able to keep him at bay.
That one is no good for the former Cape Breton Highlander, as well as Cape Breton University. Actually played his first year there, so he got to go back to the old stomping grounds. That is a big three by Harris.
There it is. Once again, we say it time and again, Kelsey, no lead is safe in this NBL. We'll see if Orangeville can now start getting something going here.
Giroux from the high school three. That one's worth two. Can't make it that easy.
No, you can't.
Harris pulls up from the three. That one off the mark. McGee falling to the floor. It's 5-on-4 right now. Bennett into Giroux. Giroux kicks it out to Keith. The extra pass all the way over to Bennett. Tries to get it to Ward. It would have been a beautiful play. Ward loving the ball movement. It's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Windsor ball on the baseline. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Stefan Nastich makes his way back in for Slim McGee.
Well, if you're an Orangeville A's fan, you got to be a little bit worried. But if you're a fan of basketball, you just got to love that play no matter what. Great find there, but even great defense for Orangeville, recognizing it.
Here's Giroux now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking to take on Nastich, pulls up for the mid-range jumpy. It's off the mark. Jones with a pep in his step, cleans it up.
There's no way that he should be able to get up there and get in that close to the basket. He just went right around Harris. Once again, when you get caught ball watching like that, kids, you're not boxing anybody out, and that's what ends up happening. You got to make sure you're staying physical no matter what.
Here's Johnson. Back up to Nastich. He finds Relier Hollis Jefferson, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Hollis Jefferson has to pull up, puts up the mid-range. It's no good. Jones actually almost put it back in for Orangeville there.
Yeah, there it is, but Jones showing off those hops.
Again, on the other side, the jump shot, it's good for 2 points.
And once again, we're seeing the same thing here. This is a very good timeout. Orangeville needs to take this right now. Kelsey, I don't know what else to say about this offensively, but the Orangeville A's, I don't think they've made a set shot in the last 3 minutes of this quarter. Everything has been on a lean. Everything has been with contact. Windsor's been doing a great job of forcing up these tough shots from Orangeville. And there's been also some times here where it looks like Orangeville looks like they're just trying to keep running and gunning and keep shooting as much as they can to try and get themselves back into this game. But we've never really seen that actually work for a lot of teams in this league. The best thing you can possibly try and do at this point is just slow it down, keep playing tough defense, and don't allow Windsor to get so many easy shots off.
It's a 20-point game right now, Ryan, 55-35, after Orangeville being outscored 21-12 in this first half. Only halfway through right now, 5 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the game. And Ryan, the assists just keep going up and up for Windsor. Talk about ball movement and how important that is for this Windsor team. They've got 18 assists so far on the night. 18!
Well, even if you rewind the start of this second quarter, if you're watching on YouTube, you can just see how many comfortable shots Windsor was getting off. None of these guys were even hesitating. It got to a point where guys aren't even hesitating now when there's a hand in their face because they're so comfortable with the ball movement that's been going around and the space that they've been getting to get these shots off. You got to remember, at the end of the day, this is professional basketball. These are some of the best players on the planet, period. So when you've got guys that are getting that much time to work with the ball and that much time to take their time and get open shots off, it's no wonder they're shooting so well in this quarter. Orangeville's got to ramp up the energy on defense.
For now, gonna have to get a bucket on offense. They'll get the other chance to go on defense after they score, let's say. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first. It's Johnson up top. Gets it into Nastich. He'll have to work some kind of magic here. 5 seconds. Puts up the hook shot. It's no good.
It looks like that length of Giroux, Kelsey, is really actually playing a factor in Nastich's shot here.
Because he's so bouncy, too.
He is. And
Jones, talk about bouncy.
There it is, Jones. Once again, that's one of his hot zones there. He's finding that foul line mid-range area. He's made 3 in a row there now. I hope that Orangeville's taking note of that.
Harris drives, tries to get it into Nastich. Great defense there by Giroux. It's called with the kick ball. 14 seconds now on the shot clock. 2 substitutions in for the Windsor Express. Juan Patillo and Darren Duncan.
We'll get back to this Nastich-Giroux matchup happening right now. I mean, Giroux, of course, not necessarily got the same weight as Nastich does, but when you see him get up, as you said to your point, he's right there in Nastich's face for those shots.
Johnson, it just rattles out. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in the first. Shaq Keith up top for Windsor. Saying, okay, hand down, man down. That one doesn't touch anything but backboard. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Yeah, that's a serious heat check. Jefferson with a heat check of his own. That one off the back rim.
He would have gotten that rebound if he attacked the basket there instead of walking back.
Johnson dives to the floor there. That's the kind of hustle and heart you want from the Orangeville A's right now. Forces Warren Ward to give up the ball. Here's Giroux now. Drives on Nastich. 6 seconds on the shot clock. It's out of bounds. Orangeville ball on the sideline. Another substitution in for the Windsor Express. Giroux is going to take a quick water break. Logan Stutz, the reigning MVP of the NBL Canada, back into the game.
That is a great substitution there. It looked like Giroux got to a point where he's been so comfortable. He's trying things you don't usually see him try. And Stefan Nastich isn't someone to really try and experiment your offensive sets on here. It's a great defense by Orangeville.
Hollis Jefferson drives. There was going to have to be a foul there on somebody, Ryan. That one is going to go to number 3, Logan Stutz with the block. Hollis Jefferson goes to the line now for 2.
And a lot of people will sit there and go, well, why exactly is that a foul? Well, when you see a player, an offensive player able to keep their hands high like Jefferson did, it leaves everything on the upper part of your body from your waist up open to any kind of contact from like an elbow, from anything of that kind of nature. So when you keep it high like that and they make any kind of contact in those specific areas that the referee's looking for, that's going to get you to the line a lot. That's why some of the better finishers at this level, at the level above, even at the high school level, by keeping the ball high and attacking the basket there, you usually give yourself a great chance to go to the line consistently.
Gives you a good chance to score, too, because it has less of a chance to get blocked. Here's Duncan now on the other end. Gets it to Stutz. Releases from the top. It's good for 1, 2, 3.
Once again, though, Logan Stutz, he is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hollis Jefferson tries to get it into Nastich. It's knocked out of bounds by Stutz. Orangeville ball on the baseline. 2 substitutions in. 1 for the Windsor Express. Wally Ellenson comes in for Shaquille Keith. And for Orangeville, it's the fan favorite Rick Bodiford comes in for Alex Superman Johnson.
It was one thing at the beginning of this game we were worried about the defense on the interior for Windsor. Would they be able to match up with the size and skill of the bigs in Orangeville? So far, it looks like it's the Orangeville bigs that have been outmatched.
Nastich releases from the 3, looking to get a little bit of a Logan Stutz there for himself. That one no good. Here's Warren Ward now. They swing the ball. Duncan off a screen from Patillo. 13 seconds on the shot clock. They get it back to the big man. He pulls up for the mid-range right in Corbin Thomas's face.
And once again, guys are feeling it right now. What a lead that has been built here by the Windsor Express.
They're winning this quarter right now, Ryan, 28-13. Orangeville only scored 1 point since the last time out.
And there it is. They're making 3 now. Stefan Nastic finally finding it.
Just over 2.5 minutes left to go now. Logan Stutz back-to-back threes for the big man.
Can't leave him open like that. Nastic is going to have to get out there.
Harris into Nastic, finds
nice
a wide open Corbin Thomas with the slam.
What a finish there by Thomas, and you got to believe that's going to energize the crowd a little bit, and the bench too.
Duncan off the glass, it's no good. Someone has got to box out Juan Patillo. They forgot about him down low, and he's showing them exactly why you can't forget.
I'll be honest, at this point, if I'm Coach Lazowski, I'm looking for 2 bigs out there because it doesn't look like there's a call there. Just going to finish my thought. It really doesn't look like any time that you see Nastic, he's been pulled out to the perimeter here because Stutz has been hitting so many shots. That's leaving it wide open for guys like Patillo to work, and Ellenson for that matter. He's not exactly a small guy either, as Giroux comes back in for Stutz. So maybe that'll help. That the outside threat is kind of gone now from the post.
18 seconds on the shot clock. Harris gets it over to Thomas. Thomas sees a little bit of the light there, goes for it, and it's good for 2 points.
There's Corbin Thomas. That's 2 buckets in a row for him. Feed the hot hand.
Under 2 minutes now left to go in the first half. Giroux tries to get it to Warren Ward. It's Hollis Jefferson now. He goes up off the glass. It's good for 2 points.
That is a tough finish. You could see the defender draped all over him, hand on the ball, still manages to go up, break loose, and get the finish.
Giroux should be asking if he can have that basket since he was the last one to touch it. Loses his dribble there, gets it out to Duncan. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Duncan right back to Giroux. Puts it up from the 3. It's short. Patillo goes for the slam. No good. On the other end, Corbin Thomas tries to put it in, but it's Stefan Nastic who just kind of reaches up, puts his 7-foot hand up there and gets it to go in.
Kids, the importance of running the floor. You never know when you might get some of the easiest baskets of your life.
Under 1 minute left to go now. Here's Warren Ward. Orangeville not letting him release too many threes today.
No, not at all.
Duncan into Giroux, loses it. It's Orangeville ball. 43.6 seconds left to go. It is 67-46 here in Orangeville.
That's a couple of times now that Giroux's been caught with the popcorn fingers there, Kelsey.
Popcorn fingers. For anyone who's just new to watching our broadcast, when you have popcorn before the game, your fingers get a little bit slippery out there.
Yes, they do.
Here's Duncan into Patillo. Patillo looking to redeem himself there. That one no good. It's going to be a foul on Rick Bodiford.
Yeah, it looked like Bodiford kind of got his hand right on Patillo's chest.
Substitution in for the Windsor Express, Noel Moffett. He makes his way into the game for the last 31.4 seconds. You don't want to get Warren Ward in foul trouble in this last 30 seconds.
No, not at all. Not when you need to. Really just a great look here for Warren Ward. Throughout the first half of this game, he's not looked rushed at all. You just never see him rushed into bad decisions. As Patillo misses his first.
Patillo on the night, Ryan. That's his first foul shot of the game. That one no good. So, I mean, if you got to foul someone at the end of the game, that's who you go to, 0 for 2.
Yep.
Harris into Bodiford, tries to keep it in. It's off of Moffett. Here he is now, gets it up to Patillo. Patillo, the floater, no good. What a break for Orangeville. They're going to get the last possession of this half. 13 seconds left to go in the second quarter. They get it up to Harris. Harris slowing things down now. With 5 seconds left, he's going to come off a screen from Nastic. Steps back, puts it up. That one no good. Ryan, at the end of the first half, it is 67-46. Windsor leading the way over Orangeville.
Well, we'll just say briefly, that was all that was all Windsor in that second quarter there, just completely establishing their game plan. Excellent ball movement, that little bit of heart and hustle that we're actually kind of used to seeing the Orangeville A's display on the offensive boards actually turns out to be in favor of the Windsor Express, and they're the ones moving the ball around. So they've really taken it to the home team in this first half.
Ryan, the first quarter, the Express outscored Orangeville 32-23. The second quarter, 35-23. So, I mean, they just keep getting better and better. Orangeville staying at quite the constant, sitting at 23. And it's Logan Stutz who has made the biggest difference in this game so far, 18 points at the half.
Well, yeah, it looks like every single category has been owned by the Windsor Express. If you're looking at bench scoring, points in the paint, points off of turnovers, second chance opportunities is the only thing that Orangeville's even tied with them at. Really, it just seems like Windsor's coming out with a little bit more energy than Orangeville overall.
All right, guys, we are going to go take a quick break. You got 15 minutes. Grab yourself a drink or a snack. Happy Good Friday. We'll be back for second half action. Welcome back to A's TV. It is halftime here at Athlete Institute. And Ryan, at the end of the first half, Windsor is leading the way 67-46. The big standout of the game so far, the former Niagara River Lion, Logan Stutz, the reigning MVP of this league, 18 points.
18 points in his return here. Well, his debut for the Windsor Express, return to the
Return
NBL.
to Athlete Institute.
Yeah, return to Athlete Institute, of course, picking up where he left off. And really, I don't know what it is about this building, but the top players in the league just seem to always have big games whenever they come to town, and it's been no different here. Also seeing Patillo, the leading scorer of the Windsor Express this season. He's having a very impressive first half. A couple of really impressive highlights under the basket. And Orangeville's in tough for this one, Kelsey. So we'll see if that half did them some good.
Corbin Thomas up top to start off the game. Picks up his dribble, gets it over to Nastich, who hands it off to Harris. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Harris loses it, gets it up to Bodiford. He drives, goes up, and that was a pretty easy call for the referee there. It's going to go against Ellenson.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, you got to like, if you're an Orangeville A's fan, you got to like the fact that Orangeville's forcing the issue right now of attacking the basket, making sure that if they're not going to get to the line, they're going to at least make sure that there's going to be a whistle call. Nice explosion to the rim.
14 seconds now on the shot clock. Bodiford take it out. Gets it into Nastich. Nastich. Not really a threat up there, holding it above his head, looking for the pass. Bodiford goes up, it's no good. A big block there by Juan Patillo.
Yeah, Patillo able to knock that one off the rim, and of course is a very legal move with FIBA rules here. And here's Windsor.
Giroux puts up the mid-range, no good. Thomas rebounds. Here's Bodiford, spots up for the transition. Three, it's nothing but net.
And that's it right there. You got to make Windsor pay every time they don't put the ball in the hoop. You got to come right back up with something else if you're going to be down this big going into the third.
Duncan into Ward, it's good.
And I'll tell you, Kelsey, these switches and cuts to the basket by Windsor has been something to behold in this so far in this game.
Bodiford now turns the corner, finds himself open, puts up the floater, it's good. Bodiford has come to play in this second half.
Yes, he has. Great finish at the rim there over the much taller Giroux. They're going for the block.
Other end being guarded closely by Harris. Patillo goes up. There's a foul called there on Corbin Thomas. Patillo will go to the charity stripe for two.
And just like we saw for Windsor's defense on this end, no easy buckets we're seeing on the other end for the Orangeville A's. You've got to make sure, especially considering we saw Patillo go 0 for 2 from the free throw line last time he was there. Not necessarily a bad foul, because otherwise he's been a master at finishing at the rim so far in this game. Very efficient game for that matter, actually, as we're looking. He's 7 of 10 from the field, Kelsey.
Impressive, impressive. The Las Vegas native can't sink that second one.
Something to keep in mind later in this game, because we've seen how close these games can get.
Relier Hollis Jefferson, he makes that one look easy. Ellenson now doing what he does best, puts up the three. It rattles out though.
There it is. Make sure you keep a hand in the face, some sort of defense going on. Good work.
Just over 10 minutes left to go now in the third. Here's Harris. Harris puts it up, doesn't even use his left hand to keep the ball in there. Goes up one hand, Duncan on the other end, out to Ward. Can't let Ward release. Another rare miss by number 10.
And that's once again, Relier Hollis Jefferson has made a point to say, I am going, every time I'm on the floor, you will see a hand in your face when you're going up for those shots if I'm there.
Harris looks to get Relier Hollis Jefferson. It's stolen by Giroux. Here's Wally Ellenson for the jam.
Fast break point there. Unfortunately, Harris trying to be creative there, ends up getting caught. You got to make a quicker pass than that to the rim if you're going to put it over that many black shirts. Ends up paying in the end.
Bodiford kicks it out to Nastich, puts it up from the three. It's just short.
Nastich, he's now, I believe, 0 for 3 from the three-point line.
Here's Warren Ward over to Duncan. Just over 9 minutes now left to go in the third. Duncan out to Patillo. 8 seconds, Patillo gonna have to do something. Kicks it to Duncan. Duncan, pretty obvious traveling call there for the referee. Kind of got it, and as he took that breath to get going, took 2 big steps,
yes,
and then started dribbling after that.
Well, let's be honest, it was the big reason he was able to create that separation in the first place, was taking those 2 huge steps. You move a lot faster on the floor when you don't dribble the basketball.
Bodiford into Harris. Harris goes up, Giroux, he gets the block, and it's going to be Orangeville ball on the baseline. 15 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Just under 9 minutes left to go in the third. Here's Hollis Jefferson over to Bodiford. Orangeville's leading the way in scoring so far this quarter, Ryan, 9-5. Nastich tries to get it to 11. Jannard Giroux is going to be called with the foul.
There it is, Nastich making sure he's taking care of his pivot foot there, how important that is. Both black shirts wanting a traveling call there, but Nastich, that's just a testament to how strong and how structurally balanced he is. As he, I believe, who is it that picked up that second
Jannard
flow?
Giroux gets his second foul.
Giroux with that second foul, and there's Nastich knocking down the shot. Don't look now, the Orangeville A's carving into this lead a little bit here, Kelsey.
Nastich now 2 for 2 from the line, shooting 100% so far this night from the Stanford grad.
It's all that yoga ball work, Kelsey. He's able to keep his balance there. That's why he gets fouled, goes to the line.
Warren Ward now on the other end, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Loses it there, but able to keep it in the possession of Windsor. Patillo taking on Corbin Thomas one-on-one, gets it out to Giroux. He steps back, it's no good. A big rebound by Corbin Thomas.
Excellent rebound there. Lots of white shirts crashing the boards, trying to get the rebound. They understand they can't give Windsor any second chances anymore.
Anthony Harris passes it to Nastich. What a find.
That is perfect find right there. What have we seen Giroux do the last couple of possessions? He's been block happy, leaving his feet, trying to get those, trying to swat every shot he sees. Rick Bodiford recognizing that, gets Giroux up with the fake, and a nice find to Nastich for the easy dish.
Patillo, it rims out. Nastich, another rebound. Just under 8 minutes left to go now. The Orangeville A's chipping away at that lead, 72-59. Hollis Jefferson comes off the screen from Thomas, pulls up. No good.
Not mad at that shot, though. That is Hollis Jefferson, one of his zones that I've been talking about for the most of this broadcast.
Here's Ward out to Giroux. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Duncan now up top. Kicks it to Ellenson. The quick release. Ellenson, no good. Bodiford picks up the board.
Great defense there on the perimeter.
Bodiford goes up, it's good.
There it is. You find that mismatch of Rick Bodiford. Looks like there might be.
Bodiford's going to get the delay of game warning after putting it in the hoop and then taking it. He wanted to take it, actually, it looked like, because he wanted to talk to the ref and say, how is there no contact there? The ref saying, we got no room for that. Delay of game warning, so the next time the team does that, that will be a technical foul assessed to the bench. Just over 7 minutes left to go in the third. It's 72-61. Patillo goes up. There is going to be a foul there.
I was wondering where the delay of game is for that one.
The whistle was blown. It's a dead ball right now. Patillo's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
Delay of games for everyone.
That foul is going to go to Nastich. That's his second of the game so far. Patillo, he's going to go to the line now, Ryan, only shooting 1 for 4 from the foul line today.
Once again, this is a smart foul. If you see him near the rim from anything that looks like it's going to be a for sure dunk or layup.
1 for 5 right now.
Exactly. You got to make sure that you get 2 hands on those shoulders or something. Give him a hug. Who knows? Whatever it is, whatever it's going to take to make sure he doesn't get that shot off.
Although, don't do that, because then you'll get an intentional foul.
Fair enough.
Jamison Tipping checks into the game now for the Orangeville A's, Ryan. They don't have a 5 on the floor right now, and I'm wondering how well that's going to go with them with Logan Stutz.
It's going to be interesting. They're going to need to be able to make the switches, though. There it is. Actually, I'm glad the whistle came here because I'm going to get a few seconds to talk about this. I was talking with some of the players in the Windsor Express and just how comfortable they were feeling in that first half, working off the rotations. They're feeling that they can get the ball to anybody from 1 through 5 out on the perimeter to get a shot off or to get an attack to the basket here. And I think that's a big reason why Lazovsky or Coach Lazovsky has made that adjustment and now doesn't have a single big man on the floor to try and keep up with that ball movement.
Well said, Ryan. Here's Bodiford now. Over to Harris. Harris looking to kick it out to Tipping. He puts up the 3 and it's good.
And that's a big shot by Jamison Tipping. They need him to get going to give the Orangeville A's a chance, but he's in tough right now with the defensive matchup.
With that 3 ball from Tipping, it's now a single-digit lead for Windsor. Here's Corbin Thomas now going up. It doesn't fall, but there is going to be a foul. Corbin Thomas is going to go to the line for 2. The Orangeville A's right now looking for the goaltending call as well.
Yeah, it looks like they got a chance, and all some of the fans behind the bench getting into it a little bit as well there. They want that call here in Orangeville.
Those are called super fans, Ryan. Those are called super fans. Ref's going to get together now and give it a talk. There is going to be 2 shots, so no goaltending there. And Thomas is going to go to the line for 2. This will be his first trip to the charity stripe.
Here, this has been a fantastic third quarter. Not to jinx it really, as Thomas misses that first free throw. They've came out and they've done exactly what they thought they needed to do. And once again, you look at the difference there, how quickly the ball was moving and how they were able to find that open shot for Jamison Tipping, and then a great defensive play up in the perimeter here.
They are going to call that one a goaltend. I think the refs are going to get together one more time. Juan Patillo saying it touched the rim. I can touch it now. So 3 refs are going to talk it over, figure out what the goaltending rule is here, because this is back-to-back goaltending calls now.
Well, that live ball on the rim makes it very interesting for some players and some officials at times. It is a pretty standard rule, but...
So they're actually going to call it, I think, a jump ball right now because none of the refs saw it. So it's going to be white ball. 6 minutes, 27 seconds left to go in the third. It is getting wild in here as Orangeville chips away at that lead, making a comeback in the third. Ryan, right now they scored 18 points on the quarter. Express in the last 6 minutes or 5.5 minutes only scored 6 points.
It really seems like at this point the tables have turned a little bit when it comes to the energy here. But this Orangeville A's team that we're watching right now, much more calm, controlled, a little bit of a shuffling of the lineups, if you will, by Coach Lazovsky, has really given them a little bit new life when it comes to the ball movement here. A lot of smart players on the floor right now. We'll see if that continues here.
Bodiford wide open. He broke the ankles of Ellenson.
Ellenson falling to the floor. Crazy what a little bit of patience can do to pay off.
Duncan over to Stutz. Stutz right back over to Duncan now. He gets it into Stutz down low. Almost a steal there for Hollis Jefferson. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Wow.
Warren Ward. What else can you do if you releer Hollis Jefferson right in his grill?
Arguably the best Canadian player in the league, or at least pure scorer.
Harris makes it look easy. Juan Patillo doesn't even get in that help defensive lane. Lets Harris go all the way. It's now 75-68. Here's Stutz up top.
I love that matchup there, though. Anytime they screen up now to Stutz up top, he can't really put the ball on the floor.
Stutz drives, can't get it to fall. Tipping with the rebound.
And that's something there.
Thomas now, he goes up. That one, no good. 5.5 minutes left to go in the third. Fans are getting excited here. Ellenson from 3, it's good.
Ellenson having one of his better shooting performances I've personally seen, Kelsey. He's got 3 there. He's showing off the bow and arrow even.
Here's Harris now on the other side, finds himself open for the mid-range. Answers with a 2-ball. It's an 8-point game. 5 minutes left to go in the third.
This is fun to watch now. Both free-flowing basketball. Both teams are finding it.
Ellenson, hot from beyond the arc today. Give him 4.
You got to guard that perimeter. That's something Orangeville was not doing very well during that big run by Windsor.
Harris, looking for a 3-point play of his own, has taken it into his own hands the last 3 possessions. This time gets it to fall, and he's going to go to the charity stripe for one more. There's a timeout called by Windsor.
Yep, a good timeout here by the Windsor coaching staff. Really, a lot to digest there in the last couple of minutes, Kelsey. A lot of back and forth battling. We're seeing the same kind of defensive breakdowns, though, unfortunately, for Orangeville, as Windsor, those last couple of possessions, getting a chance to get some clean shots off. And it all started off, though, with Warren Ward being completely draped up and knocking down a shot. But so far, that shuffle in the lineup by Coach Lazovsky has kind of paid off for the A's. They just need to get themselves back, get that defensive energy back on the perimeter, making sure that they're not getting any more open looks. But as far as the offense goes, that's the one difference that we're seeing that we didn't see in that second quarter. The A's are coming right back and scoring. And sometimes it just takes your veterans, like a 6-year D-League veteran in Anthony Harris, just finding any which way to the basket right now. And when you see a team hit their offensive stride like that, it's something beautiful to watch. And that's why we have such an entertaining and close game heading into the last bit of the third quarter.
Ryan, I think the big thing keeping Orangeville in the game right now is their second chance points. They've got 12 second chance points from 9 offensive rebounds.
I think you're absolutely right there. And once again, the way you remedy that, though, is by continuing to stay physical. One thing that Orangeville does have on the on the Windsor Express at this moment is making sure that they've got, even if you've got a lower player, you got a lower center of gravity, you got to make sure you're getting into those quads and into those hamstrings, making sure you're boxing guys out, not giving them any kind of semblance of balance when they're going up for those rebounds. If all you're worried about is boxing out the man, when that ball goes up, it doesn't matter how tall they are. If they can't get to the basketball because you're boxing them out, they're not going to get that rebound. And that's something they need to make sure they're reminding themselves. Anytime that ball goes up, find him in. Doesn't matter if it's your man or not. Find him, box him out, and make sure that you're giving yourself the best possibility to get that possession back.
Ryan, on the other end, Windsor right now has 81 points, and 40 of them, so almost half, has come from their bench.
And really, that has a lot to do with Logan Stutz checking into this game as well and having the offensive output that he's had at 18 points.
Still but even if you scored this half.
Yeah, he hasn't. As a matter of fact, if you take away his points, though, we're still seeing that it's the A's are still being outscored, even without Logan Stutz's 18. 20. So there needs to be some sort of change here.
Jones drives, puts it up off the glass. It's good.
You can't let Jones do that. And now it's, I believe, a 24-20 in bench points.
Here's Tipping. Gets it into Moss. Moss, Patillo. Two guys of similar stature. He kicks it out to Bodiford. Puts up the three. Bodiford wanted the call there. No good, though. Warren Ward bringing it up for Windsor. Sees the open lane. Misses it there. Should have been a travel violation. The ref saying that Orangeville touched it before it went up. There's an air ball there, and Bodiford cleans up the board.
Ball never lies on that one there. Orangeville gets the possession back.
Moss drives, gets his own balance, and puts it off the glass for 2 points. That's the Moss we're used to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so quick. He's so deceptively quick. Great hands, a great body.
Jones, floater, no good. Patillo tries to clean it up. It's good. Tipping will be called for the goaltending.
There it is. Unfortunately, though, we just talked about it.
Tipping it out of the basket.
But one thing we just talked about, though, the idea of making sure you're boxing out the man behind you. When you give a guy like Patillo the running start. Harris getting it right back, though. Once again, he's been that guy. We've seen him do this all year. Whenever he's on the floor and his team needs buckets, he's been there to answer the call.
Here's Patillo, 14 seconds on the shot clock, hands it off to Bennett. He releases from the three. He has been hot from the three, Ryan, so far this game. Give him another one on the night. Bodiford gets it into Moss. Moss goes up, and there's a foul there on Logan Stutz. Moss will go to the line for the first time back this season. Stutz, I believe that's going to be his third.
And that's all you can ask for. We talked about Justin Moss at the beginning of this year, just how great he's become at shooting from the line. Of course, knock on wood for us Orangeville A's fans and broadcasting team. But
although they haven't been shooting great from the line today, Ryan, 66%, 11 points, and you were there by 8 points. You were down by 8 points just a few seconds ago. So, I mean, 3 minutes left to go in the third. They still have the opportunity to bring it back and tie the game up before going into the fourth quarter. Foul shots are going to be a big part of that.
It is, and especially a shooter in the team last year to becoming arguably the best one now. You need to get him to the line as much as possible as he's able to sink his first two in his return.
88-79, just over 3 minutes left to go. Jones gets it up to Patillo. Patillo brings it down, puts it in for two.
And that's what you give up, though, when you go with a guard-heavy lineup here. You give up that kind of size there for Patillo.
Tipping releases from the corner. That one's off the mark. Jones pulls it down.
That's a tough shot to get off for Tipping, though.
Here's Shaq Keith now up top. Drives at Hollis Jefferson. Goes to put it up. It's no good. Blocked by Moss. Windsor able to keep it in their possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Stutz puts it up for the three. It's no good. Shaq Keith with the offensive rebound.
There it is. Shaq Keith being that tweener, able to bang with the bigs a little bit and has a nifty little crossover on top of it.
Stutz into Patillo. He's able to clean it up for 2 points. Patillo having quite the night tonight, Ryan.
Yes, he is. 9 of 14, 20 points.
Hollis Jefferson over to Alex Superman Johnson, finds himself open off the glass. What a finish.
That was impressive, Kelsey, to get it up and above. I mean, it's always impressive when you see some of these smaller guys able to get to the rim like that, but that one right there was special. Much needed.
Here's Jones now up top for the Express, gets it over to Patillo.
There's a mismatch if we've ever seen one.
They're not going to take advantage of it. Yes, they are. Patillo down low against Johnson. Give him 22 points now on the night. Just over a minute and a half left to go in the third. Windsor, they've started to come back themselves now. Orangeville still leading the way in this quarter, 33-25. But I mean, Windsor, they definitely got the momentum going at the end of this one. There's going to be a foul there on Harris.
Well, that's it. That's just a testament to the coaching staff of Windsor here. As soon as it looked like the game was getting a little bit out of hand for them, they called the timeout. They kind of refreshed their guys, put a fresh pair of legs at the point guard position up there to really kind of start directing traffic in a different way. And it's turned out well, because now it's the Windsor Express that have that little extra burst of energy, especially on those second chance points, which is something they've been dominating all game.
Jones can't do it the first time. The smallest guy on the court gets the offensive rebound and cleans it back up, bringing his team to 96. A minute 14 left to go in the third.
A lot of ball watching right now on the defensive end, Kelsey.
Here's tipping now over to Harris. Harris chucks it up from the three. It's just short. Giroux cleans it up. Here's Jones now on the other end, looking to go coast to coast. He kicks it out to Keith. Shaq Keith with the three.
Shaq Keith, very, very comfortable in that position there. Catches it, no doubt about it, right in rhythm.
Hollis Jefferson, he's going against Logan Stutz. That one's going to be called a charge. I could see it from here. Stutz setting himself up, taking that one with the little Serena Williams scream there. It's good. And Hollis Jefferson is called with his third personal foul.
Yeah, Logan Stutz setting his feet, taking the contact, getting to the ground. That is an unfortunate play there for Jefferson, and it's kind of a, that kind of sums up the last 3 minutes for Orangeville.
Shaq Keith now up top. Hands it off to Jones. He comes off the screen from Giroux. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Stutz finds the open man. Shaq Keith loses it into the hands of Bodiford. He's going to go all the way. Bodiford is good.
I like that take. You've got the much smaller defender on you. Even though you've got a trailer, no, just go right to the basket, nothing fancy. Get as many points on the board as possible before the end of the quarter.
13 seconds left to go now in the quarter. It's Jones up top. Jones looking to take on Bodiford. Picks up his dribble, finds Giroux. Giroux wide open to Bennett in the corner. Bennett, give him 4 on the night. That one will end the third, 102-83. Ryan, just as we see a glimmer of hope for the Orangeville A's, get it within 8 points. They end the quarter now, 102-83.
That was a very impressive display by the Windsor Express. You can tell this is a team that's ready for the playoffs right now, Kelsey. As soon as they saw their opponents get an opportunity to shorten the lead a little bit, takes the timeout, takes a breath, and they go right back to what it is that they were doing so well in that first half, which is spacing, finding the open man. And unfortunately, Orangeville, much like they were in the first half, ends up getting caught running after players after the ball's already been passed. Hence a lot of these open shots and the big lead that once again has opened up for Windsor.
Ryan, the leading scorer for Windsor right now is Juan Patillo with 24 points. The leading scorer on Orangeville, though, only sitting at 16. Quite a discrepancy when you're looking at scoring between both teams. So, I mean, Juan Patillo's got 24 behind him. Logan Stutz with 18. You look on the other end, we got 16, 14, 12, and 11 for scorers for Orangeville, just not putting up the numbers that they're going to need tonight to get the win.
No, not at all. But really, I think that just kind of is a symptom of the lack of cohesion here on offense. As once again, though, you got to remember the Windsor Express are the best statistically defensive team in this league. They're the only team as well that are holding their opponents to an average of under 100 points. They also have the best three-point field goal defense in the league. The Orangeville A's live and die by the three in certain games. So that's another factor that's been kind of leading into the issues here, because we haven't really seen, Kelsey, for any extended period of time, any of the Orangeville A's shooters effectively getting very comfortable behind the arc. There's always somebody that seems to be kind of trailing them. Even when they had the 5-man rotation, the 5-guard rotation going on during that little stretch there, it was working for a time, but soon after that, Windsor would just start finding ways to score baskets on the other end by exposing that weakness in the middle. And when you have guys like Logan Stutz and you've got Giroux and even a guy like Shaq Keith who can kind of play the 4 or the 2, he can play anywhere between the 2 and the 4, it just creates a lot of mismatches for the Orangeville A's to try and contend with. And they're going to try and do this one more time with Justin Moss on the floor and Wheeler Hollis Jefferson arguably playing the 4 and 5 position here. And even Jamison Tipping, I mean, look at the defensive matchup he's going to have to deal with. The best thing that he could hope for right now is making sure that his teammates deny Logan Stutz the inbound pass.
Tipping now has no fouls, so I mean, if he wants to play hard, he's got 6 fouls to give in this last quarter.
Pretty sure he will, though.
Jones over to Bennett. He's gotten first one here to start off the fourth.
I don't like that defensive set there. Both players went up to try and get the shooter, so even if it was a missed shot, that still would have been a put-home slam for Stutz.
Johnson over to Moss. Moss making it look easy. It's good for 2 points.
But that's what you need if you're the Orangeville A's. Anytime they score, you got to score right back, or else this game might be over early.
Bennett, he puts up the 3. Holy moly, is his hand on fire. I can see the flames from here.
I think you're right, Kelsey. I mean, he's had 3 straight shots he's made with a hand in his face,
4.
let alone 4, and they're all taller defenders on him.
Johnson over to Tipping. They need to get hot from beyond the arc today to keep this team in it. Here's Hollis Jefferson now, drives baseline. It's going to be a foul there on Jannard Giroux.
And that's something we don't talk a lot about from Jannard Giroux. Relir Hollis Jefferson relies a lot on his length and his first step to be able to score as much as he did, as Giroux picks up his 3rd personal foul. But the thing with Giroux is, despite the fact that he's not maybe the heaviest guy on the floor, he's incredibly quick on his feet, so he can stay with guys like Relir Hollis Jefferson.
Talk about Hollis Jefferson, Ryan. He puts it in for 2.
There it is. There's no Giroux to be found on that one. Jefferson gets the space he needs. Great jump shot.
Here's Jones. The back door into Bennett. Bennett is the MVP of the second half for the Windsor Express.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it, Kelsey. Anytime Orangeville's had a bucket, he's had a response.
14 points now on the night. Here he is on the fast break, just too far ahead. The coach looking over at Shaq Keith saying, you know you did that one wrong. Bennett could have gotten his 16th point there. They're all yucking it up down there. 10.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Oh, that's not really a huge surprise. Shaq Keith's still a pretty young guy in this league, learning the ins and outs, only his 2nd season. So you're going to see plays like that from the young guy every now and then.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Drives left. It's no good. Tries to get the offensive rebound, but it's going to stay with Orangeville as it's knocked out of bounds. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
And who's right there? Once again, Giroux. Giroux, one of the few guys in this league that can get up there and contest that shot without fouling Jefferson.
Get some sweat wiped up from the floor there by our lovely volunteers. Orangeville ball on the baseline. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson gets it into Bodiford up top. He loses 2 seconds there. Right back to Johnson. Johnson comes off the screen, looking to take on Bennett. Puts up the 3. It's just short. Gets the offensive rebound. Tries to get it into Bodiford, but there's a steal by Jones. Jones kicks it out to Bennett. Bennett into Giroux with the jam.
There it is, Giroux. Great finish there by the Windsor Express.
Hollis Jefferson coming back now. Gets it to Bodiford. He usually loves the corner 3. This time is no different.
Love that. I think, Kelsey, that's the most amount of time that an Orangeville A's player has gotten to shoot a 3 in this game so far.
Here's Jones now on the other end. 16 seconds on the shot clock. They get it over to Giroux. He hands it off to Bennett. The hot hand so far in the second half. Can't get it to fall this time, but he is going to go to the line for 2. That foul will go to Bodiford.
And that was a heat check take to the line there by Bennett, just trying to do the nice little scoop. Trying to see if he can touch nothing but mesh on the finish there, but the defense is there to make sure that he's got to earn it at the line.
Bennett's got 20 points right now. He's got 2 shots at the line so far, shooting 3 for 3.
Kelsey, you talk about the importance of keeping a healthy roster. This is a team for the Windsor Express, for the most part, that have had almost every single one of their players available and ready to go for the past 30 games. And you can see it with the ball movement here. Meanwhile, you're looking at the Orangeville A's. They've had just about every single player on this roster, on this current active roster, miss some sort of time due to an injury. They already currently have 3 guys, I believe, that are out right now with injuries up until this point. And it really, when you add that up, it just makes it so much more difficult, and it can be, it's a tough go about it when you're facing a team that's gotten such great chemistry together. And then, of course, to top it all off, they pick up last year's MVP. So it's not like they're just picking up a random young kid. They're picking up a guy who knows how to adapt to systems extremely quickly. And when you add in the talent on this coaching staff that recognizes this stuff, I mean, the Windsor Express are looking like a very dangerous team going into the playoffs.
They are, Ryan. Looking just at the scoring itself, take away everything else, including rebounds and assists. Juan Patillo right now has 24 points. Tony Bennett equaling that with 24 points with 18. Logan Stutz, 13 for Wally Ellenson, 11 for Shaq Keith, 10 for Maurice Jones. And now, Ryan, we could just go on and on and on about how great this team is at scoring.
I mean, when you play great defense, it makes scoring the basket all that much easier, and that's something they've done to a T so far in this game. They're still on pace, although I doubt that they're going to be able to hold Orangeville below 100 points, still with 9 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. That defensive tone has been set. They've been blocking shots. They've been eliminating second chance opportunities. They've been making life miserable for the Orangeville shooters on the perimeter. And when you have this kind of length and ability to switch between players on the offensive end, a lot of these Orangeville A's players are looking a little bit tired too, just because of the ball movement and how it's been going around on the defensive end.
Can we talk quickly about this? The Orangeville A's right now have 20 assists as a team. Maurice Jones for Windsor has 14 just by himself.
I think that kind of sums up everything that we're watching here so far. Windsor has been moving seamlessly between screens, between cuts. Guys are talking to each other. They're aware, hands are ready. It makes such a difference.
Tipping launches from the three. It's off the back rim. Alex Superman Johnson there to clean it up. Almost stolen by Stutz. Anthony Harris puts up the three. That one's no good. Giroux pulls it down. Here's Jones now with 14 assists to his name. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Doesn't want an assist on that. The three, it's no good. Justin Moss cleans it up.
There it is. We're talking about most of this.
Here's Bodiford into Moss. Moss goes up. It's no good. Goes for the offensive rebound, but there's three black jerseys around him. Giroux wide open down the middle, Ryan. Nobody got back on defense on that possession.
Yep, and that's the glaring difference, though. The problem that you see when you're going, basically 1 and 4 and 1. There's really no one there to kind of get in the way of Giroux when he's that deep into the paint.
Here's Tony Bennett now. Holy moly, he is unconscious, Ryan. He is winning the game right now
6 for 7
for the Windsor Express.
6 for 7 from behind the arc. 27 points. Very impressive.
Here's Tipping looking for an answer. That one's good.
There's Tipping. Once again, it seems like maybe a little bit of fatigue here. Windsor allowing Orangeville to get those shots off now. Got to make the most of it.
Jones kicks it out to Stutz. Stutz hands it over to Bennett. Bennett puts it up again. That one is short. Here's Harris now in the open court. Puts it up. It's good for 2 points.
Great find by Tipping to make sure he got it to Harris. Harris, probably the best finisher on the Orangeville A's in a fast break situation. Proves why just right now with 2 black shirts draped all over him.
7.5 minutes left to go in the game. Here's Jones. Pulls it back. Puts it up to Giroux. Give him one more assist on the night. He's got 15.
There it is once again.
Harris tries to go up and under. It's no good.
Giroux was with him right to the very end there. You can imagine maybe it had a little bit of a factor on the way he laid up that ball.
Bennett tries to find Logan Stutz. It's knocked out of bounds by Justin Moss. It's going to stay with Windsor on the baseline. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Substitutions in for both teams. Juan Patillo and Darren Duncan come in for the Windsor Express. And for Orangeville, Justin Moss takes a quick seat on the bench. Corbin Thomas comes into the game. Here's Shaq Keith in the corner for the Express, looking to take on Bodiford. He backs him down. Bodiford going to be called to the foul.
Once again, Shaq Keith, he lives for those isolation moments. Every single chance he's had on that baseline, you see his teammates clear out for him, allow him to get a little bit of space to work. And it's been the same result every single time. Either he's going to get fouled and goes to the line for 2, or he makes the shot.
Keith, first one is good. Let's talk a little bit about Keith right now, Ryan.
Absolutely.
He was, like we said, played with Cape Breton earlier this year, averaged just under 16 points a game. Then he was traded with Clinton Springer Williams, and that's why he's here with the Windsor Express right now. We got to see CSW just last weekend.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, Shaq Keith, we actually had a quick conversation with him at half And he was the one that was actually talking about how easy it is at this point now, 30 games in, seeing some of these guys, just how well they've been moving the ball as Harris gets fouled going to the basket. I believe that foul is going to be on Darren Duncan. But yeah, we had, speaking really briefly with Keith, he was saying, you know, I asked him about how Logan's fitting in, and he was saying, you know, like a glove, basically, as you can see. When you have a player of his high Q, Keith was saying, like, just seeing the way that we were able to switch off of a 1 and 5, kicking it out to him and getting him those open looks in the first half. He was all smiles at halftime, seeing a guy like Logan Stutz on the floor playing with him. So this whole Windsor Express locker room is extremely happy to have him a part of this team, and they really feel like they have a very real chance now at making a deep run in the playoffs now that they have that second and third scoring option in Logan Stutz.
6.5 minutes left to go in the fourth. Could have been another assist there. What a pass by Jones to find Giroux with 3 white jerseys surrounding him in the middle of the paint. It's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Windsor. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Patillo. Patillo now turns the corner baseline, goes up for the reverse. It's no good, despite the great defensive effort there by Corbin Thomas. There's a steal by Patillo into the hands of Jones. Jones puts it up to Patillo, 17 assists.
My goodness. And don't look now, but Jones, he's got a triple-double, Kelsey. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 17 assists. Not bad for the smallest guy on the floor there.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, the former USC Trojan.
Give him another steal now. He's coming back the other way. Giroux puts it up. Giroux's had like 4 or 5 slams this game. Windsor all smiles right now as Wally Ellenson checks back into the game. It's 129-97, under 6 minutes left to go.
Yeah, well, you hate to say it, but it's looking right now that being dead in the water at this point. The A's just can't get anything going offensively despite scoring 97 points with 5:52 to go here in the fourth. The Windsor Express have pretty much done whatever they want, especially the last few minutes, creating a lot of points off of turnovers. But once again, that's what you get going up against arguably the best defensive team in the league now from Orangeville.
Welcome back to ACV. Under 6 minutes left to go in the game. Windsor leading the way over your Orangeville A's 129-97. Here's Alex Superman Johnson. Kicks it to Harris. Harris up to Tipping. He hands it off to Hollis Jefferson. Johnson finds himself wide open at the 45, just off the back rim. Ellenson picks up the board. Ellenson now over to Keith in the corner. Keith puts it up. It's good for 3 points.
Jack Keith, I don't think he's missed a three-pointer today.
Keith, he has missed one early in the game. He's 2 for 3 right now from beyond the arc. Easy bucket there for Hollis Jefferson. Be a little bit of stoppage of play here. The ref's going to talk to Harris and Shaquille Keith. There's a technical foul there on Harris. And a technical, so it's a double technical there. 1 on Harris, 1 on Shaq Keith. So it'll stay with Windsor, 17 seconds on the shot clock. The ref saying, okay, guys, that's enough.
In these kind of games, it's not really that surprising. You'll see a little bit of talking happening. Orangeville, they got to prove it on the scoreboard right now. They still got 5 minutes to play. It's not, all isn't entirely lost. We've seen bigger leads shrink.
Jones puts it up, it's no good. Giroux goes for the tip back in. Here's Tipping now. Goes up and there's a foul call. Tipping's gonna go to the line for 2.
Allenson thinking that there wasn't an issue there, but it was pretty obvious to see that, you know, when your knee is in his head, that's gonna be a foul most of the time.
Tipping's got 6 points on the night, both of those baskets from beyond the 3. This will be his first trip to the line this game. First one is good. Under 5 minutes left to go. It's a 32-point game, Ryan. 4:52 left to go in the game.
It's a shame to think the fact that Orangeville getting off to such a good start in this game. They're up 9-0 at one point before getting outscored 11-2 to finish it at 11-11. And Windsor has actually had the lead ever since then, Kelsey.
In this fourth quarter right now, Ryan, the Express are leading in scoring 30-16.
There it is, a rare miss from Warren Ward. Tipping came down with the rebound. Here's Harris. Harris, he's going to kick it out to Johnson.
Hollis Jefferson puts it up in the corner. It's good for 3.
There it is. Well, the Windsor Express are not going to hold the A's below 100 points, as is their season average. But the A's, can they pull off the improbable?
Maurice over to Ellenson. He drives, almost gets tied up there with Tipping. Giroux now from the 3, it's just short. There's a rebound by Jefferson.
It's a tough finish there by Jefferson, trying to go straight up over Giroux. That's a tall task.
Ellenson for 3.
There's Ellenson. Once again, I think he's putting together his best shooting performance at AI in quite some time.
Johnson drives, dishes over to Hollis Jefferson. That's an easy bucket.
There it is. Once again, though, if you're going to see your opponent score, you got to get on the other end and answer right back.
Jones drives, puts it up, it rolls around, and it's good. Jones having an all-star performance here tonight at Athlete Institute.
He has, absolutely, Kelsey. Very impressive finishes at the rim. Keep in mind, he didn't start, yet he has a triple-double.
Yikes.
Shows you just how deep this bench is of the Windsor Express.
Jones drives, pulls it back out, gets it to Giroux. He swings it to Keith. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Keith comes off the screen from Giroux, turns the corner on the right-hand side, goes up for the hook shot. It's no good. Harris pulls down the board, but it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Windsor ball on the baseline as Noel Moffett checks back into the game. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left to go.
Once again, I think the Orangeville A's, one thing they're going to have to take away from this game is making sure that they're keeping any kind of momentum in check, especially dealing with the lockdown defensive team like Windsor.
Jones trying to pad his stats there. It's knocked out of bounds. Orangeville ball on the baseline, 2:42 left to go.
So we saw a lot of offensive boards, a lot of points in the paint for the Windsor Express. It just didn't look like Orangeville's came out with the same level of focus that we've seen in past games, especially as time went on.
Here's Harris. Goes up, blocked by Giroux. Tipping with the offensive rebound. 12 seconds on the shot clock. He slings it back for the 3, and it's good.
I'll be honest, that was a pretty impressive shot by Tipping there to get it up. Orangeville, they're really going to need to go back and take another look at this game when they get a chance. You're allowing a team to score almost 140 points in a regulation game. That really shouldn't be something. I know it's a high-scoring lead, but that's not acceptable. You can't be doing that and expect to win games.
Tipping, the heat check, and it's still hot. 6 points back-to-back now for Jamison Tipping. 2 minutes left to go in the game.
That's all you can ask for at this point. Just keep shooting threes.
Here's Shaq Keith going against Harris. There's a matchup you don't want to see if you're an Orangeville A's fan. He dishes to Giroux. No good. Tipping. The rebound is knocked out of bounds. By Windsor, excuse me. It's Orangeville ball on the baseline.
I'll be honest, if I was the A's, I'd have at least one goal in mind right now. Don't let Windsor drop 140.
Alex Johnson goes up. That one no good. 140 on the clock. Maurice Jones goes up. No good. Here's Harris now into Thomas. Thomas goes up for the jam. That one's no good. Ellenson will grab a foul.
I like that take by Corbin Thomas there, making sure that if he tried to go up for a layup, there's a good chance he would have gotten contact and he wouldn't have been able to get the call. So to commit to that dunk and to go right to the basket right away, Ellenson had no choice but to foul him or else end up on a poster.
Corbin Thomas right now, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 0 for 2 from the foul line.
0 for 3.
Make it 0 for 3 now, 1:28 left to go in the fourth. It's 137 to 114. This Windsor Express team has outscored the Orangeville A's every quarter. except for the third one where they were just down by 2 points. But I mean, the cumulative points that they scored in the first and second, hard to overcome. And now in the fourth,
it's just been one of those games. Windsor's done everything to get themselves open.
Here's tipping now. Over to Harris. Harris to Thomas. He slings it back from the three. It's no good. Giroux, he's going to go up for the big jam. Makes it look almost too easy, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't even think he needs to get off the ground to dunk it.
Under a minute of play left to go. Johnson releases from the three. It's good.
There it is. On the bright side, Orangeville, another made basket, and I think they've matched their highest total output in points in this game per quarter at 37.
Here's Moffitt, 10 seconds on the shot clock. He drives a big block by Hollis Jefferson as he volleyball spikes it down. Tipping, releases from the three. It's off the back rim. That one is knocked out of bounds. Windsor ball, 28.6 seconds. They're still going to have to get a shot up.
28.6 seconds. I'd expect an attempted three again.
I think they really want Moffitt to score here. Get everyone on the score sheet for this Windsor team.
Yep.
Here's Jones, dribbling it out.
And coach is telling him to hold it, actually. I don't even think we're going to see a shot.
There's a 6-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to take a shot clock violation here. Seconds left to go in the game. It's Orangeville ball.
Chelsea, these fans want to go down fighting.
Here's Harris. Puts up the three. No good on that one, and that's going to be game, Ryan, 139 to 118 at the end of this one.
Well, at the very least, they held Windsor to under 140 points. So
you called it.
Yeah, that was thing. But ladies and gentlemen, I think this post game is going to be the Windsor Express, and they easily look like one of the more scarier teams in the NBL right now with the add of Logan Stutz. And of course, with that incredibly deep bench, that was also part of Maurice Jones getting a triple-double. Bennett going 6 for 7 from the three-point line. There was a lot of impressive statistical things to talk about for the Windsor Express. The Orangeville A's, more than anything right now, they need to, I know they don't want to, but you've got to watch the game tape of this one more time and understand that that kind of energy level is not going to get the job done in the postseason.
To end this one, it's Juan Patilla leading the way of all scorers, 28 points, 8 rebounds. Right behind him, Tony Bennett with 27, like Ryan said, 6 for 7 from the three-point line. On the other end, Orangeville is led by Anthony Harris, who scored 20 points tonight, and right behind him, Rick Bodiford. He had 19 points, 7 rebounds. Make sure you tune in to the next game it's our last game, our last home game regular season. That's going to be April 19th. It's Fan Appreciation Night here at Athlete Institute. The Orangeville A's are going to take on the Moncton Miracles.
It's going to be a big game. Hope to see you all there. Take care of yourselves and have a great and very happy Easter.